Hello, I'm TMN, and welcome to my new series where I'm going to be reviewing each of the films on IMDb's Top 250 list. Each Friday I'm going to be reviewing a new movie, so please be sure to stay tuned for a new review every week. Before I begin this review, please be sure to leave a like on this video, comment down below telling me your thoughts on the movie, share with your friends, and as always, subscribe. And on one more note, since I will be going through 250 films, I figure I really don't want to go through the pressure of having to write a script for this review, so everything I say will be right off the top of my head as it comes to me. It may not be the most sophisticated review, but it will be my honest general thoughts. Other than that, please enjoy. So our first film on the list is The Shawshank Redemption. Rated 9.3 out of 10, placed number 1 on the Top 250, and therefore the highest rated film of all time. Starring Tim Robbins, Morgan Freeman, Bob Gunton, and a plethora of other amazing cast members. Right off the bat, I can already praise this film for having stellar performances all around. Now personally, I do believe that for most movies, people are probably not going to necessarily care how the acting was, mainly because there's roughly 3 types of acting. Tommy Wiseau from The Room, Heath Ledger from The Dark Knight, and then everything in between. Shawshank Redemption definitely has good performances, and while this is not to discredit the film in any way, the performances are really just as good as any other movie I've seen, so I mean, they wouldn't win an Oscar, but at the same time, they wouldn't be in any YouTube compilation of worst acting ever, so I can give it that credit. Another point I'll try not to make too much in my reviews, but I have to make in this one, because it is the first one, is the score. Now again, similar to acting, scores can be very fitting for a movie and very iconic. For example, there is the Birdemic of soundtracks, but then there is the Star Wars, the original soundtrack. And then of course, once again, you have those soundtracks that, while listening to them, you think, wow, that's a really good soundtrack. I enjoy listening to this. I'd certainly buy this on CD, or listen to it over and over again on Spotify. And once again, similar to acting, I'd say Shawshank Redemption falls in this category. The score by Thomas Newman is amazing. I've listened to it all the way through at least 3 times. And the tracks that I particularly love are the Stoic theme, Brooks Was Here, and Shawshank Redemption. Thomas Newman is one of those composers who I've found that, while I do love pretty much all of his work, he does have a certain sound that he sort of just carries through all of his films, and it is present in this film as well, but I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it, so kudos to you. Anyway, for all my reviews from now on, I'll try not to focus too much on the acting or the music or any of the small things that most people probably don't really look for in a review. The only time I'll mention them is if it's really worth talking about, if something just completely stands out and I have to mention it. Other than that, let's get on with the stuff you really care about. The story. Because you're probably not going to want to watch a movie unless you're at least first intrigued by the summary of the movie. I will admit, Shawshank Redemption probably is one of those few films where the summary of the movie really doesn't do much justice to the actual overall story. About a year or 2 ago, I forced my mom to watch this movie because, you know, as a film buff, I like to dump movies that I think are very good on people who are not as well educated. And of course she had her doubts. She didn't think she'd like the movie because it was a prison genre movie. You know, she likes rom-coms and stuff, you know, not her style. But by the end of this movie, she came out liking it. Now right off the bat, I definitely don't think that The Shawshank Redemption is the best movie of all time. At least not in my personal opinion. But I can't deny, it's good. I think the main reason why Shawshank Redemption is so good is because there's something for everyone in it. You know, there are certain movies that do appeal to a certain demographic. You know, Transformers or Pacific Rim appeals mainly to the teenage boy. Whereas 50 Shades of Grey or Mamma Mia or something will probably appeal mainly to the average teenage girl or something. Not to say that the opposite gender can't enjoy either one of those movies, but, you know, just saying. But all throughout Shawshank Redemption, there is a universal message that I think everyone can take away, and they can use it as a positive influence in their life. As the poster suggests, the main theme of the movie is hope. I think that's a beautiful idea, the idea that even in the darkest of times, as long as we hold on to what matters in our life, our inner demons can't really get to us. But aside from having a message that resounds all around, in general, this movie really just has flawless writing as well. You watch some movies and you think, yeah, this movie might have gone 30 minutes too long, or so on and so forth. Shawshank Redemption is one of those movies where every scene feels necessary. Every scene serves a purpose in the story, and there's no scene whatsoever that I'm just thinking, I could have skipped this scene. It doesn't really serve any purpose to the overall story. At the end, everything ties together, and it feels really good when movies do that. This is a movie that makes me want more at the end. It ends, but I'm still hungering to see what happens next. And I think that alone is a sign of a good movie, is any movie that makes you want to see more at the end, or makes you curious to kind of see how things turned out. Right off the bat, I think you've got a good movie right there. You know, a couple smaller details, you know, cinematography's good, direction's good, you know, all that good stuff, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure I'm probably not the first reviewer to say this, and I probably won't be the last either. But Shawshank Redemption is a great film, definitely worth checking out if you have the time. It's got something for everyone to enjoy, a great message, great acting, good music. Altogether, I can't really say there's much to hate in this movie. I think it would be pretty difficult to find someone who had anything bad to say about this film. Alright guys, thanks for watching my first movie review. As always, be sure to like this video, leave a comment down below telling me your thoughts on the movie, share this video with your friends, and tell them to come back week for my next review. And most importantly, subscribe. As always, I'm TMN, and until next time.